Back with another video. It's been 2 weeks, but I had to take my break. I went to my dad's house, so I was taking like a little break. I was taking like a little break, you know. Even though technically I really wasn't doing anything. But I had to take my 2 week break, and that's what I did. So I'm back. If you saw, I did my Dragon Ball Z. It was messing up a lot, so sorry for everything. Yeah. But I will try to get back with that, and yeah. So let's get into this video. This is 6 horror stories animated compilation. Compilation, however you say it. I'm gonna try to get back with my games. Like I said though, hope you enjoyed, and anything else I gotta say, like, subscribe, turn on post notifications. And before the end of this year, let's try to at least get 100 subs. Well, I'm trying to get 100 subs, So, yeah. Anyway, let's get on with this video.
I'm 22 years old, and this happened about 2 years ago when I was still living at my grandparents' house. This was the only scary experience that has ever happened to me, and it was a doozy. My cell phone was on the nightstand next to my bed and started ringing. It was like 3 a.m. To my surprise, the number calling me was the house phone, as in the phone downstairs. I answered, thinking that maybe one of my grandparents had hurt themselves, but when I said hello, I got no response. I again said, "Hello, Grandma, Grandpa," but again, nothing. That's when fear really hit me. I crept down the stairs, and they were really old stairs. They creaked. The whole house was dark, and I'd be lying if I said I wasn't petrified of what I would find. The house phone that called me was in the kitchen, and as I reached the bottom step, I was still holding my cell phone to my ear, and whoever was on the other line was still there. I could hear them breathing lightly. I walked through the living room and into the kitchen, my heart beating out of my chest.
Stupid.
I switched on the light, and to my relief, nobody was standing there. But at the same time, I realized that they must be somewhere else in the house. Or maybe the phone somehow malfunctioned and called the last number dialed.
If that ever happens to me, first thing I'm doing on the cops. That's the first
How did I
thing.
know? Because suddenly they started laughing through the phone. I could tell it was a woman. It was my grandma. I ran upstairs to my grandparents' room, and it was locked. I could hear my grandma hysterically laughing through the bedroom door and through the phone. Panic hit me. I kicked the door open and immediately saw my grandpa shaking my grandma as she sat on the edge of the bed, holding the phone in her hand and laughing maniacally. I have never in my life seen or heard my grandma laugh like that, but it was horror movie material. She abruptly then stopped as she woke up. Both of my grandparents completely brushed it off and told me to go back to bed. But it was so
I'm locking my
insanely
doors
scary
if that ever
that I
happens.
almost wanted to scream
Straight
again.
up, I'm locking my doors.
The next morning was like any other. My grandma made me
I'm locking my
pancakes, and
doors
when I
that
asked
night.
her about the sleepwalking or whatever she was doing the night before, she just casually said, "It happens once in a blue moon."
It's in a
I
blue
told her
moon.
what
Oh,
happened that
nah.
night, beat by beat, and she responded, "Oh my, that sounds so scary." Yes, Grandma, that's a freaking understatement.
Yeah. You know good, yeah. We know you ain't making that. People be scamming y'all when y'all watching those videos.
One time, I drove back to college after Christmas, before the winter break was over, so I was the first of my roommates to get back to the house that we were renting. Our house was in a pretty isolated spot
I
on
wonder
the
how to.
outskirts of a town in upstate New York. I
Okay.
pulled into the driveway behind the house, went to the trunk, and grabbed one of my bags. and then ran inside because I had to use the bathroom so badly. I had been on the road for over 5 hours. I was inside the house using the bathroom for maybe 5 minutes. Afterwards, I went back outside to get the rest of my stuff from the car, and there were footprints in the snow all around it.
I don't see snow.
Now, as I
Ah,
said,
of course,
I
of
was
course.
alone in
Dab
the
is
middle of
snow.
nowhere. The only set of footprints should have been mine, from where I had gotten out of the car on the driver's side, walked to the trunk, and then walked to the back door. Yet now, there was another set of footprints circling the car and then leading into the woods at the back of the property. It appeared that the footprints had originally come from the woods as well. I had left my trunk open while I was inside because I assumed I was alone and nothing had been taken. But someone had seen me arrive. They came out of the woods, circled my car, and then returned to the woods. I grabbed the rest of my stuff, locked my car, ran into the house, and locked the doors. Last year, the day after 4th of July, I went to my favorite lake to go fishing. Occasionally, I would take friends, but more often than not, I went alone. Unless you're fishing in the dark, nothing creepy really ever happens, and you would never expect something creepy to happen either. I went to a very specific spot on the lake where I have always had good luck catching fish. The sun was out, and it was peaceful. Nobody else in sight. That's what I really love about this lake. It wasn't too popular like some others I have been to. I was listening to an Audible book when suddenly, without hearing him at all, a man floats by in a little rowboat. I looked over at him, and he is stereotypically creepy, smiling at me and didn't say a word.
What a whack. No, I'm
To
playing.
break the awkward silence, I said, "Hey, I didn't see you there,"
I wouldn't have
meaning that
said
I
no.
was
I just
waving
would have
at him.
waved at him.
The man said nothing and just floated by. I brushed it off,
Right
thinking
after
he
that,
was
I
getting
would have
too
left.
close to this
No.
life,
Mm-mm.
but was once again taken by
As
surprise
soon as that happened, I would
when he
have been like,
turned around maybe
bye.
20 yards away and began heading towards me again. He was rowing, so it was gradual, but man, I cannot tell you the creepy feeling that came over me. I thought for sure that he would say something this time, or do something, but he floated by and said nothing once again.
I would have been
I
gone
have a
that time.
short temper, and I got a little pissed off and said, "Do you need something, bro?"
I know,
And
right?
he
Like,
just smiled at
pro-
me. After that,
probably would have
I
said
thought
something
aloud,
too
"Dude,
if I hadn't
get the
leave the
hell
first
away
time.
from my boat." He stood up and continued his disrespectful stare.
I would have.
After just standing
No,
there looking
bro.
at me like an
You
idiotic
should have
psycho,
jumped on his
he
boat and
picked up the
punched him.
small anchor he had on his piece of crap little boat and tossed it behind him into the dark lake. I immediately stood up and started reeling in my line. A few seconds later, I put my pole down and started my motor. I looked at him one more time before I blasted away, and this guy was still smiling. I flipped him off and was gone in seconds.
I would have swung at him
Well, that kind of ruined my mood,
with
and
the
I felt
pole.
pissed off and creeped
You don't
out,
even have to
so I
punch him.
decided to call it a
All you
day.
gotta do is.
I have been to that lake 100 times since, and have never seen that guy again. And I better not either. I might just punch him in the face. I have no idea what
Should
his
have did
deal
that the
was,
first time.
if he was annoyed that I was fishing in a spot that he liked, or if he
Well,
was picking
thing is
on
about
me.
me, I wouldn't even be fishing at
I have
night,
no
so
idea. Thinking back on it, though, the whole thing was.
and if I am fishing at night, if I am fishing, if I am fishing at night, then I must have a lot of my friends with me because I don't know. I must have at least two people with me. Yeah, at least two or one person with me. Two, yeah, two or one. If not, you'll never catch me fishing at night. Only day. Yeah, then I barely would probably ever fish either way. So I probably wouldn't even be fishing. I mean, I fished a couple times, but I don't fish like that. Even if I had the choice to, I still wouldn't be fishing like that. So I mean, well, actually, that would be some good vlogs. So I probably would, but not the point. I wouldn't be fishing like that. So like, that's just dumb. Who
Honestly,
fishes at night?
creepy and
Day,
weird.
okay. Night, at least have your friends with you.
About 5 years ago, my mom
If
started
not your
telling
friend,
me
maybe
how
your
she
mom or
got
dad, or
feelings
maybe
for
both, or family
that
member,
woman.
someone.
I had recently started dating this woman who would later become my wife, and we had met online. My wife and I never really liked this guy.
Unless it's
We
a
didn't think he
kid,
was mean or anything
then
like
that
that.
that doesn't
Just a
count.
little creepy. He was quiet. He kept his eyes closed a lot, and occasionally said odd things, like offering my wife a chocolate and then popping one in his mouth, closing his eyes, and moaning as he let it melt in his mouth. One time, my wife and I were visiting my mom, but she got called into work, so we waited at her house.
You
My
know.
boyfriend was over, but he spent the entire several hours just hanging out in her bedroom with the door closed.
No,
Just before
man.
Christmas, my mom and
No.
this guy started having difficulties. My wife and
Should
I
have
were
beat him up.
visiting her for the holidays, and she dropped all of her problems on us, and we listened carefully
Hey,
and
man.
told her our opinions and suggested that she would be better off
Good
without him.
son. That's
She
your
already
mom,
had her
man.
mind made up, though, and decided to break up with him
If any of your
on Christmas
anyone
Eve.
who has a mom when you're older,
We spent the
you
night
got
at
your
my
own
mom's and
girlfriend
got
and
up early
stuff.
on Christmas morning to visit.
Anyone when you're older, and you're like, and your mom has some problems that she wants to like tell you, man, or maybe your dad or someone in your family, or someone that you're just really close to, man. Always listen, cause sometimes if you don't, bad things will happen, whether you listen or not. But there's a chance of it going right if you do listen. Even if you don't want to hear all of that, just listen. You'll have a better chance of something good happening than something bad happening.
My dad at his house. We didn't
It's just
plan to
smart.
spend the night at my dad's, but we got snowed in, which was actually a nice Christmas surprise. The next day, we left as soon as we could get through the snow, and my wife suggested that we stop by my mom's house on the way so that we could see if she was okay. My wife just had a really bad feeling about my mom's now ex boyfriend. My mom's car was in the driveway, but that doesn't mean much because she lives close enough to work that she often walks, and it hadn't snowed in her town. She also never locks her door, which drives me crazy.
Oh yeah,
So
that
we let
should.
ourselves in. That's when we see blood oozing out of the refrigerator's water dispenser.
And
It
my
had
mom,
filled up the spill container,
I
was
would,
leaking onto the floor, and had made a puddle.
I would lock it
My
myself.
wife screamed, and I freaked out. I fully expected to see my mom's head in the freezer. I nervously opened the freezer to find
That didn't scare me.
a bag
That
of
that
frozen
didn't.
cherries that had been opened, crammed into the freezer so that it fell onto the ice dispenser and melted. I thought my mom was decapitated by her creepy ex boyfriend.
That didn't scare me. I just looking behind, you know.
A few years back, I lived with my mother and German Shepherd in a two-bedroom rented townhome.
You don't look like no German. No,
I
I'm
got
playing.
home from work one day and
I
went
don't.
about my daily routine.
Hey
When it
doggy.
came time
No,
to
I'm
eat
playing.
dinner, I knocked on my mom's door to come and eat. I smelled cigarette smoke and heard her grunt a response. So I went back down and ate
Don't
alone.
smoke.
Fast forward to about 2 a.m.
Gives you
I
cancer.
am awoken by someone
Damages your
taking my
lungs.
hand and gently shaking it. I immediately shoot straight up and look around. My dog, who is overly protective and sleeps with me every single night, isn't in bed. She isn't even in the room. She most definitely was on my bed when I went to sleep. I sleep with the bedroom door shut and locked. She is scratching at my closed and locked bedroom door from the hallway. Frantic, I bolt for the door, let her in, and she is searching the whole
Smart.
room. I'm now yelling for my mother. No answer. I force my dog to walk down the hallway with me. I still smell cigarette smoke. I bang on my mom's door.
Mm.
No answer. So I just open it, and she isn't even home. The bed is made, and her TV is off. My dog and I search the entire house, and nothing is out of place. All the doors and windows are still locked. I was freaked out to say the least. The next day, I called my mom and she told me she left early the day before to go visit my sick grandfather. Who was holding my hand that night? Your guess is as good as mine. If someone's ever pranked the out of you, get help. I'm here to get revenge on my brother. From Polly and Vinny. And pull out the wildest revenge prank ever. Boom! Mic drop! Premieres Thursday at 9. Sell out in seconds, knowing we won't hold you back. Partner with the best.
I hope I can't get copyrighted for this. I don't even know if that is possible. I don't know. YouTube, if I can get copyrighted for that, like, tell me or something. Cause I don't know. Like, don't go ahead and
decided that it would be a
yeah.
good idea to explore a farmstead that hadn't been in use for years.
Are these stories even full?
The whole experience was really bizarre. The farmstead was accessible
Whatever.
on a long gravel road that brought you to a cluster of dilapidated buildings around a central barn. We parked at the end of the gravel road near the turnoff to the main road so we could walk around the property and just pull out quickly later. We went into the barn first, and there were deer bones arranged in a circle around the skull and a bunch of blankets and wood stacked in a corner of the room. We thought it was really cultish and weird, so we left and started walking back.
A little more than weird.
Halfway down the gravel road, we heard crunching, heavy footsteps and someone screeching behind us. Blood-curdling screeching. We sprinted back to my car and tried to peel out of it as fast as possible, but it had snowed the night prior, and my back tire was stuck in a puddle of melted snow. My friend was screaming because she was so freaked out, but wouldn't turn to look at the path behind us. By the time I had gotten the car unstuck, she turned around to see if there was someone following us, and there was no one there. It could have been a bird or something, but we both swear up and down to this day that someone was following us. I really thought I was going to die that day.
That's the end of this. So I'm gonna say this. I hope everyone agrees with me. But why does it say 6 horror stories animated? First of all, the only reason I got scared was because I thought the screaming was coming from in my house. So technically that really doesn't count. Because I thought the screaming, like I'm being serious. I thought the screaming was coming from in my house. That's why I looked behind so fast and then had that little shock. I thought that was coming from my house, not the video, my house. Second, of course none of them are gonna be scary. Unless you're just a scary person like some people I know. But really, these stories ended up becoming so quick. It's like they weren't even full stories. How are you telling me this story is scary? Well, I forced my dog to come with me, and we saw my mom. Well, we didn't see my mom, but we saw the TV turned off with the bed made. That's scary. That's scary. You're telling me that is scary. I mean, I'll understand. Maybe at the moment, in real life, it would be scary. But in the story, that wasn't even close to scary. That was only like a 2-minute story, if not a minute, or maybe 2 minutes and a half. That is sad. That is sad. When I'm watching this, I expect to get something good for you to watch and for me to watch, not this trash garbage I just saw right now. Now I'm gonna keep doing it, but like, come on, you gotta get better. And this is new too. If y'all want to go check it out. But that was very sad. Like, this wasn't even close to good. Like, I would literally dislike this, but I'm not going to, cause I don't dislike her. Like, well, I do like a couple of videos, but I don't dislike. Well, I probably dislike a couple videos, but the only reason I don't like it because it adds to my saved, so I just don't really like videos, and I don't dislike because I just don't do that. But go check out my video from yesterday. Have a very good day. Thank you for watching. Thank you for everyone who watched my live, especially because I posted about it on Instagram. But it seems like y'all people don't want to check out my Instagram is Young God of the Underworld. Same thing as my YouTube. Anyway, have a good day. And I'm probably going to be making some more videos today. But have a good day. Bye.